Do you have a green thumb or hand of death when it comes to plant? What roughly is your kill slash grow ratio? Okay, okay. What exactly is this question? Very confusing question, by the way. Okay, so this question is actually says that what is exactly your point of opinion about the plants? Okay, like do you think that plant should supposed to be like kill or should supposed to be grow? Well, most of the people say grow, yeah, but in reality it is not. What do you mean by that? So example is that like you went to camping, okay, and you need little bit of woods to burn because yeah, so you cut bunch of trees, all right, but probably this is kind of like a something that I am doing this like basically I'm middle of the jungle. If I'm doing kind of like cutting one tree is how much gonna it impact, because in our surface of planet we have trillions of trees. Okay, I'm cutting only one small tree, so how much it impact? Well, probably it not. Okay, there is nothing really impact, but it's like that the mentality that we have regarding about like basically camping is a very small thing. Okay, that came like obviously you need for the camping you definitely need to be cut the trees and stuff like that wagara wagara. Okay, it is also really essential, but like that I don't know, might be like what is actually my opinion regarding about trees. Should I cut the tree when I went to camping? Obviously yes, it's essential. Should I cut the tree when it kind of like a really required me, or maybe kind of like I bought some sort of land, it has so many trees, but I wanted to build a kind of like a, my house or kind of like a something really office or something really structure. So should I cut those tree? Obviously I have to do that because I bought this land for some sort of purpose, and I have to fulfill that purpose to build home or build something office or whatever it is. Right, yeah. So like basically what kind of person am I? Am I kind of like a person should supposed to be cut the trees or grow the trees? Well, probably is this thing that like basically let me tell you one thing. In our entire lifetime we cut so many trees, thousands of trees more specific, kind of like a something ratio. But important thing is that how many trees that you plant. Okay, yeah, obviously you cut your trees because of some sort of reason and you have to cut because like basically it's like you have to do your things and you need some sort of land and basically you cut the trees. Okay, important thing is that how much trees that you plant. Okay, if you didn't really plant any of the trees then probably you are kind of like a something really a kill person. Okay, but if you plant trees as well as you cut the trees, okay, that means you are grow the person. I'm not really sure, probably. Okay, like what kind of like a somebody person am I? I'm not really sure about this thing, or I'm not really understand this question properly very much. All right, yeah. And by the way, our ecosystem is kind of like a such a way that ki, like if I cut the one tree then probably is this thing that like trees are not kind of like a get minus, like basically is this thing that at the beginning of the earth we have 100 of trees and right now we have 43 trees. No, it's not. Okay, like basically in the every season new trees or new plants grow every year or every month or every like a plants are dead, die naturally, unnaturally. Yeah, it happened. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a something really a ecosystem that we have. Okay, yeah. So probably is this thing that if I cut one tree or thousand tree, will it be matter? Well, probably is this thing that you need to understand the purpose of that. Okay, yeah. And obviously everyone is cutting the tree for some sort of purpose. That is also really important too. But like basically the global warming is actually happened because of the less our trees are available, is it right? Well, somewhat true, somewhat not true, because of that key. The global warming is actually happened because of the emission of CO2, emission of carbon dioxide, and yeah, okay, so that's why the global warming happened. That's why the rise of ocean was happened. All right, yeah. So what is exactly the solution? Do we kind of like control the CO2 emissions? Yeah, we are actually controlling a lot. Okay, yeah. Like in this era, in this 2024, we have kind of like a electric vehicle. Yes, and in further 50 year or 100 year, pretty sure that the entire nation will be converted into electrification. So most of the vehicle are electric vehicles, right? Yeah, which is kind of like a somethingly true, and it is kind of like a somethingly a future. So um, like only one source is responsible for more and more carbon emission is our the vehicles, all right? And within 100 year we are controlling a lot, okay, for CO2 emissions. So which is like really great for the for the planet, and really kind of like a control the global warming, all right, yeah. So basically is this thing that the individual person won't be able to do anything at all, okay, but the every person and humanity are kind of like a something went to such a path that everyone should supposed to be green, okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing that at this moment most of the company are kind of like try to get carbon neutral. What's the carbon neutral? Carbon neutral is a kind of like a something a stamp that they get on that particular product, that they mention that for this product they didn't really burn, or they didn't really emit any carbon in the atmosphere, okay. iPhone 15 is a kind of like a something like the first product in this world. I'm not really sure by the way, but the way that marketing does, I think that ki Apple 15 or Apple 15, 15 Pro are like 15 lineup are kind of like a something with the product are carbon neutral product. Means like that ki when they making Apple phone, they are not kind of like eliminate any CO2 emission at all, okay. It's a That's why this product is called carbon neutral product probably okay, yeah. So basically this is a kind of like a something like the step that most of the companies taking, okay. Apple is one of the biggest company who take, and as also like Apple is actually announced that ki within a 10 year, within a 20 year, the every product that they will make is a carbon neutral, okay. And probably most of the companies are also follows, and yeah, and as also government has some sort of laws to that key, to the industry, to the company, that key how much they should supposed to be make carbon emission or carbon, okay, yeah. So we have kind of like a something regulation that we have, and in the near future those regulation will be even more strict, or even be kind of like a regulate that much. So for sure that key the global warming and the CO2 emission will be get little less, and the world will be recover, all right. And I am really optimistic with this about all those things, okay, because right now is this thing I seen the world is actually going to the very right way, and it is also really good, okay. It's really great, okay. So yeah, but the question is about, are you kind of like a something person to kill the plants, or kind of like a save the plant or grow the plant? Which kind of like a something person are you? Definitely I want to grow the plant but for that particular purpose I don't want to stop myself for kind of like a some certain thing, no. Like basically is this thing, if I cut the trees or if I cut the plant for some sort of reason, I prefer to plant some sort of trees at somewhere, okay. this is something I could do. Or else that instead of plant some sort of trees, you have to buy another kind of like a something like car or bike, or maybe when you want to buy some sort of product, make sure that that product is a carbon neutral product. Or else you have to buy a kind of like, if you want to buy some sort of vehicle, make sure that that vehicle is a electric vehicle. All right. So yeah, these are all those things. But there is also one question is arise that ki, regarding about the electric vehicle. Okay. So most of the people says that electric vehicle is not properly a kind of like a solution for like carbon emission. Okay, yeah, which is somewhat true. Because of that key, the electric car required electric batteries. Electric batteries are made by lithium ion batteries, and lithium are kind of like a something very rare source, which is kind of like extracting that rares from the earth crust required mining. And while doing mining, it kind of like a create lots of pollution. Okay, yeah. So probably is this thing, the for the making of one electric car create lot of pollution, which kind of like a something equivalent to the entire car journey from start to the customer to the till the debt. Okay. So which is like, I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. Okay. Okay, imagine that petrol car. Okay. So petrol car doesn't really have lithium ion battery. Like it has lithium ion battery, but very less. All right, yeah. So the petrol diesel car has kind of like a somethingly, they create a kind of like a something pollution because of CO2 emission. I'm talking about the entire life of particular car. Okay, like basically when it made to the customer and customer use that particular vehicle for like just an example 10 year. Okay. So probably is this thing, I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of like consider that this car is lifespan is almost like a 10 year. So between that 10 year, that petrol car or diesel car create almost like 70 to 80% of carbon emission. All right, yeah. And compared to the electric car, okay, electric car has kind of like a something, just take the kind of like a simple guess that 10 year of lifespan. In that particular 10 year of electric car lifespan, electric car creates almost like a 60 to 65% of carbon emission. And mostly that 60 to 65 carbon emission is actually happened while building the car. Okay, like before the car make, and after it became a car, then it will not create any kind of like a simple pollution. Okay. Which is kind of like a, these are statistic are at the moment. Okay, means these are statistic that I mentioned is kind of like a from the 2024. In near future we will be invent so many ways to control that carbon emission while making the electric car. Okay, like mining. Like in the mining process it create a lot of pollution, which is true. But it kind of like a something like control pollution, and we could kind of like manage, or we could kind of like a something like control that particular atmosphere, that key. Yeah, we cannot stop the pollution for mining, but at least we could minimize it now. Okay, so this is the kind of like a something steps, this is the kind of like a something step that we took in the near future, and things will happen really good now, dude. Okay, yeah. So in the end it will be okay, yeah. Like, but petrol and diesel vehicle are kind of like a something started doing existence, like started doing like degrade and deprecate. And electric car and hybrid car are also really good. Hybrid car is also really great, by the way. What's a hybrid car? Hybrid car means like that ethanol blending, then bio lpg. Okay, these are kind of like a something with hybrid. And as also the hydrogen is also kind of like a something with the hybrid car, hydrogen car. But yeah, these are all those car and fuel type are good for the creating less and less CO2 emission, which is really essential. All right, yeah. But the question is that what kind of like a something person are you? Are you kind of like a something person to kill? I don't know how do I supposed to answer this thing, dude. Okay, it's not okay. Like basically, is this thing when I require to cut the trees, I will definitely cut the trees. Okay, for some sort of purpose. I will not cut the trees for without any purpose, which is I haven't really done that, and which is somewhat everyone does that too. Okay, which is everyone does that too. All right. So probably is this thing that key I'm not really sure, but when I want to buy some sort of car, I will buy electric car or any other car which has a very less CO2 emission. Okay, I will not buy petrol or diesel car. All right. As also, if I wanted to buy some sort of product, I will make sure that I will buy carbon neutral product, or like basically if it is not, then make sure that key which product get little less carbon neutral. But yeah, at the beginning this carbon neutral thing is very new, and implementing this thing to the company which is also really difficult. But at this moment, yeah, in the future things will happen even more better. So probably is this thing, if I choose or not choose, will it be affect? Yeah, it affect, yeah, but yeah, still I make sure that if I wanted to buy a car, it's electric, and if I wanted to buy some sort of product, make sure that it's carbon neutral. I am making sure, or maybe kind of like a try. Okay, yeah. If it is not, then probably whatever it is. So if I done that particular steps, then probably is this thing that I am helping to plant to grow on the surface of planet of Earth. Probably. Okay, yeah. And this is kind of like a something really as also the care of particular plant and trees. All right, indirectly. All right, next question.